All right, guys, welcome to another one. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your Sunday. I thought that this one would be super fun to talk about. It's kind of a random compilation of 10 things that make my life easier. And I would love for you to consider taking one or all of these to implement them into your life to make life a little bit easier. Some of them are kind of silly, some of them are kind of heavy, but they are all important and they all sincerely do make my life easier. If anyone knows me, like I've talked about before, I am very type A. I have always been super high strung, a little bit anxious, and always worry wart, all of these things. And I've really become this like go with the flow person, which has been great. I still have my fair share of like worrying about something, but then I notice I'm worrying and I need to just calm down. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second about how I do that. And how I've really just sort of tried to find the silver linings of things where, there's a reason for this to be this way and we just have to wait and see what it turns out like to know why it was supposed to be this way. And I just think that it's been a really huge thing to take on and learn how to do. And these 10 things I'm going to go over sincerely do make my life that much better every single day, every single week, make me less stressed, make me less anxious, less snippy and snappy, make me sleep better. Like I'm just a better human all the way around. And it has a lot to do with these 10 things. So they are in no specific order. I literally just wrote them down as they came to mind. But the first one, simplify. You guys, simplify everything. Simplify how you do your hair. Like 9 times out of 10 anymore, I do like the plopping thing with hair gel and texture spray, and I put it in a t-shirt and let it dry, and then it's just curly for like 4 days. It's perfect, right? Simple. Don't need anything fancy. Simplify your makeup routine. Simplify your, skincare routine. Do the things that make sense for you. If makeup is your jam, cool. Keep that going. It's just an example. But, like for me, I simplify what I wear, right? I wear like men's cutoff t-shirts and workout shorts, and that makes me happy and comfortable, and I'm good with that. I simplify my food choices, right? I simplify the ingredients inside them. I try to go for whole foods. It's so much easier to understand what's in, a sweet potato is sweet potato, right? So like really try and look at things and what can you simplify? What can you pull out of life that's overcomplicated and just make it easier for yourself? Like 9 times out of 10, I wear the same earrings. 9 times out of 10, I wear the exact same makeup routine. It takes 4 seconds to do. 9 times out of 10, like it's a walk every single morning, right? I just know what my routine looks like. Anything you can simplify, anything that you can make easier, anything that you can make less confusing, anything that you can, you know, make just a little bit more seamless for your life. Simplify it. It's going to make it so much better. So simplify anything, right? It's like doing reduced fractions, right? What is the smallest way that you can put this to make it make sense, right? That's what I want you to look at this like. So look at anything that's overcomplicated, overconfusing in your life. Look at everything. And what can we pull back on? What can we pull out? What can we just make a little bit easier for you to manage and understand and be able to execute, right? We don't need to do overcomplicated shit all the time. That's just all there is to it. Another one, number two, boundaries. Okay. This one's a little bit heavier, but set your boundaries. Something I really struggle with for a long time. Boundaries, not even just with like work and family, but boundaries with friends and, what friends would ask of me and what I was willing to give to friends, not being willing to say no to anybody, all the things. Be willing to set some boundaries for yourself and then hold the line. Will they hold every single time? No, probably not, but you've got to have some boundaries set in place, some timestamps where you say nothing after this time, or I'm going to say no to this because it doesn't bring me joy or happiness. It only brings me stress. Or I will spend this amount of time with my family on these days. Like you have to have some boundaries built into your life. Same thing goes for like workouts and you time, right? Set a boundary to have at least 30 minutes of you time every single day, no matter what. And I don't care if you spend that working out, walking, reading, taking a shower, right? Whatever it takes for you to have 30 minutes to yourself, for you and only for you, set that boundary. You have got to have some boundaries in your life in order to bring yourself happiness because it protects you from all of the things trying to eat away at you. We only have so much of ourselves to give every day and every week. If you give it to everyone else all the time, you're going to give it all away. There's going to be nothing left of you. So please set some boundaries in order to protect yourself, protect things that matter to you, so that that way they are still thriving and not just hanging on by a thread. Number three, this is a saying that I heard from Mel Robbins, and it's one that my coaches and I often say back to each other when we're having hard days and getting each other through the hard things of life is, what if it all works out? Being type A, high anxiety, like always worrying about things for so long, I was always worried about all the negative things. What's going to happen? What could go wrong? What if we can't pay for this? What if we can't make it to that place? What if the kid doesn't make the team? What if da 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 da? What if it all works out? Right? She had this whole episode on the saying, what if it all works out? What if things going to be just fine? What if the worst case scenario doesn't come through? Because most of the time, the worst case scenario doesn't come true. So you've got to remind yourself, what if it all works out? If you find yourself worrying about something, stressing out about something that you legitimately cannot control, you have got to say to yourself, what if it all works out? And I repeat that to myself every single time I find myself worried or stressed or concerned about anything. What if it all works out? And it calms me down instantly. Because honestly, things are going to work out the way that they're supposed to. Give everything your best effort, the best of your intentions, and it's going to go the way it's supposed to go. Even if you can't see it in the moment, even if you were hopeful that your kid would make X team and they didn't, but maybe it was supposed to work out that they made a different team or they found a different passion. It just take it for what it's worth. In the moment, it might suck, right? It might be super hard, but what if it all works out, right? What if it works out to be the best thing ever? What if it works out to teach them a lesson or teach you a lesson? Or what if it all works out? So look at the positive light side of life. And that has been a huge game changer for me. Number four, kind of silly, but totally awesome. Instacart. If you are in a moderately rural to city type area, you probably have Instacart options. I am not sponsored by them, but I use the hell out of them because I live 20 minutes from town. Well, 10 minutes from small town, but 20 minutes from big town. And I don't want to make the time to make it to town, much less go through the aisles and get the stuff and then come home from town and put all of the things away. Would I love to pick out my own produce? Yes, I would. That part kind of stinks, but there are some really good Instacart shoppers. I've had really good luck with them. And they honestly pick out really good produce. I'd say at least 75% of the time. 25% of the time, it's moderate, but most of the time, they're really trying. And so that's going to be the thing, right? Like I pick out all the stuff that I need. I know what we kind of want to make. I know what we need for, weekend events. I know what I need for certain recipes. I add it all to the cart. They shop, they message me if they're out of something. What replacement do you want, or do you want a refund? It shows up on my doorstep. I put it away and I wave goodbye, right? I don't buy a whole bunch of extra stuff. I'm not spending the gas or the time to go to town, come back with excess junk that I didn't need. So many good things there, right? So Instacart is a game changer for me. Or if you do like grocery pickup, that kind of thing, like do that. It saves you so much time and honestly extra money. So that's my opinion. That's what I like to do there. Another one, number five, that is seriously always made my life so much easier is protein bulk prep every single weekend. Um, I do have a couple cheater things, right? So like this weekend, we're traveling for basketball. So I'm not going to be home to make a whole bunch of stuff. So I am going to pre-prep a whole bunch of ground beef taco meat, and I'm going to put it in the freezer. So then on Sunday night, when we get home, I take it out of the freezer. I now have bulk taco meat prepped for the whole week. So easy. And then when I go to Costco, or when I order in from Costco, honestly, I pick up these like bulk grilled chicken strips. Like they're still just like sliced up chicken breasts that are pre-grilled and good to go. And I always have a couple of those in the freezer for the last minute times where I'm like, crap, I don't have anything. And I put those out on Sunday night. They will thaw, be ready to go for Monday. Good to go, you guys. So make life easier. Bulk prep protein, have good protein options ready for yourself because those would be the hardest things for you to come by when you need them throughout the week and life gets crazy. You can always find carbs. You can always find fats, right? It's really easy to find like even veggies, like doing frozen veggie packets and stuff like that. Super easy to have those things, but the protein is the hardest part. So always having a big protein prep ready for yourself, looking ahead a little bit. How can you pre-plan a little bit to make life a little bit easier for yourself, right? What do you need to pre-make ahead of time? What can you do in order to make that a little bit easier? So pre-bulk a couple of things of protein every week to at least get you through half the week or the whole week, depending on how many people are eating it. Helps a ton, you guys. Number 6, delegating chores to your kids and others. Okay, so this has been super helpful too. Again, type A stuff, over controlling, needing things to be done a certain way. I have let go of all of that, at least for the most part. So business wise, it was always hard for me to let go of tasks, to delegate types of tasks and assignments and such, because I felt like I couldn't trust people to do it to the level that I needed them to. But you guys, if you never train and then trust people to do the things, you're literally never going to get ahead, because you need a team to build a bigger business. And so you might get some not so great situations. You might run into some people that don't do things to the standards that you want, but you have to be very clear about that with your team. You need to train them appropriately and then hold them accountable. And I've been so incredibly lucky to have the team of coaches and assistant to be able to help me. They are always there. They are always thinking. They ask the questions. They make sure that I'm keeping my stuff in line half the time. Like, we work really, really well as a team. So don't be afraid to delegate tasks and train people and hold them accountable. That's gonna be the biggest piece. Don't be afraid to have honest conversations. Don't be accusatory when you have these honest conversations about things, but more or less ask questions so you can get to the understanding of why something wasn't done at all or done to a certain standard that you want, because there's a miscommunication somewhere in there, likely. So there's that. Now, kids, I have a 10 and an 8-year-old. You guys, they are way more capable of doing things than you would ever give them credit for. They don't have to just sit around all summer and play video games or play on their tablets or just jump on the trampoline or in sprinklers, right? That's great. They can do those things, but they can do things to help you too. My kids decided that they wanted to do extra camps and such, so they are earning them. Shay is literally going to do at least one load of laundry every single day, wash, dry, fold, put away at least their stuff. Rob and I'll put our stuff away. She's going to do one load of laundry a day. She's also going to do dishes every single day. She's going to sweep the floors every single day, mop the floors once a week. She's going to wash dogs once a week. They're going to water and feed dogs every single day. Skylar's going to pull weeds every single week. He's going to mow the lawn every single week. He's 8. He can run our lawnmower, right? All of those types of things, they are going to take care of doing on a daily or weekly basis to take the load off of me and Rob, or Rob and I, or terrible English, what can I say? But they're going to help take the load off of us so that we can all enjoy our time together that much more. And that gives them some integrity as well, some things that they have earned. And if they can manage to take care of those things, then, they can go to those camps. And I don't have to worry about trying to rush home to get a million things done, because they've already gotten it done. Right now, will it be done to the absolute standard that I expect or would do it myself? Maybe not, but how are they going to learn to take care of themselves in the future if you never give them the opportunity and the accountability to do it now, right? The only way that you get better at anything is by doing it over and over and over again. So they'll get better at mowing the lawn. They'll get better at folding laundry. They'll get better at sweeping and mopping, which is all things they're going to need to know how to do later on. And it's going to help me in the long run too. So delegate stuff, right? Double check that they're doing it right. Hold them accountable to doing it well. Go over things with them and say, hey, great job here, right? But maybe we need to do a little bit better here, and make sure that they are holding a standard of themselves too. So things like that, right? Don't be afraid to delegate. It's going to make your life easier in the long run. Number 7, giving the benefit of the doubt. This makes life so much easier, you guys. So often, if you are like a high achiever, very driven, you may look at people and think that they are, judgmental of you, or that, they're upset with you, or that maybe you did something wrong to make them angry, or just all kinds of things run through your head if somebody just looks at you weird one day or something. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Even if somebody says something negative about you, maybe they're going through something, right? We're all going through something. I don't care if you're the happiest person in the world, you're going through something. And nobody knows what that something is, because most of the time we don't share that deepest, darkest secret with anybody. And so we never know what that person's going through. So if you happen to be their outlet, it's okay, right? They can say some of the harshest things in the world. They can take out all of their anger on you for doing nothing wrong at all. And sometimes we just need to give them the benefit of the doubt. And you may never know the true answer to that. They may just be an asshole, right? That might happen. But in all honesty, who cares? Right? Give them the benefit of the doubt. It gives you peace of mind and they can handle their stuff on their own, right? Don't carry a grudge. Don't put it out, right? If it's a great friend and something bad happens, give them the benefit of the doubt, but back off, right? Give them some boundaries, give them some space. And if they come back around and they apologize or whatever, and you guys figure that out, great. If they don't, then they weren't meant to be in your life right now. And that's okay too. And it's a really hard pill to swallow, but sometimes we just need to give people the benefit of the doubt, get past it on our end and let them heal from whatever it is they're going through, or just let them excuse themselves from our lives because clearly they weren't meant to be a part of it at that point. And I think that that's something that's been very helpful for me is truly just like looking at any situation, whether it be with a close friend or a mom at school or a coworker, a client, or whatever, and I give them a benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're having a really rough go right now. It's okay, right? It's okay. So just always remember, give benefit of the doubt to people. Move on, accept it from yourself. Don't let it tear you down. Don't let it hold you up. That's got to be the biggest piece. You have to be able to keep moving forward. Um, the next thing, super random, arriving early. I used to be like a let's rush and get there right at the moment I'm supposed to, and that is very stressful and it makes your life really overwhelming. Now that I've married Rob and been with him for almost over 14 years now, he is very much an arrive early type human, and that has made our lives very easy. Now, do we arrive to things like an hour early often? Yes, we do. But it's okay because I would rather be on the way there, not having to rush away my life, not being worried about disappointing anyone or holding anything up. And it's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier going. There's no anxiousness with it. We get there when we're supposed to get there. We can take our time. We're very rarely like rushing in. Like it's just awesome. So I would really say if you can start to implement the idea of getting everywhere 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes early, it's going to make your life a lot better, right? It really is. So that's another big thing that I've really started to do is no matter what it is, I try to get there early. Um, Having a game plan for number 9, this is big. Okay, so honestly, I live on a farm, right? I'm a mom, and I run my own business, as you all know. And so having a game plan might be great, but honestly, the game plan's probably going to get changed and it's going to get changed often. But if you have a game plan going into the day, going into the event, going into the meeting, going into the whatever it is you're handling, you're more likely to at least be able to knock out the important stuff that you need to get done or be able to prioritize and move things around that need to be moved around and done sooner than later in order to help more. If you go into it with a game plan, you have an action plan, you have a prioritized plan, you have things that you know need to be accomplished first, things that can be put off, that kind of thing. And that's how I attack every single day, every single event, every single new thing that I'm taking on is I really have a game plan for how I want to break it down into small bite-sized chunks and how I really want to implement it into a series of time in order to make it work. So really going into things with a game plan, understanding that you're going to have to put your priorities in there and make sure that you know what can be shifted around ahead of time. But having that game plan in there first to at least work off of as a core blueprint is going to be very, very helpful. Um, Number 10, remember to breathe. I also have also struggled and know that when I get like nervous or overwhelmed or scared or anything, like I find myself holding my breath. And I'm like either barely breathing or I'm like literally holding my breath. And one of the best things that I can remind you to do is to just simply start taking deep breaths. Slow down. Because if you start breathing into your chest up here so much, or you're holding your breath, that's sending like massive cortisol signs to your body, like stressed, scared, like release the cortisol, release all of these things to make sure that we're ready to protect ourselves. And meanwhile, you're just trying to like breathe through a phone call or something like that, right? Like take a deep breath. If you start taking a deep breath through your belly and like a big belly and back expansion, like your whole rib cage should move, your belly should expand, your back should expand. You get these big, deep, satisfying breaths. It's going to reset your vagus nerve. It's going to make you calm down. It's going to send happy signals to your brain. You're going to all of a sudden realize, like, hey, what if it all works out? You're going to start thinking clearly again, and your stomach ache will probably go away. You'll be able to make a game plan again, right? All these things will start to click again because you don't have all these alarms going off in your brain because you forgot to breathe. So breathe every day. as soon as you catch yourself being like, breathe. It's so big for helping your life be easier. So, those are my top 10 things for an easier life. If you have questions on any of them, I'm always here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later on.